turn the call over to Oscar De La Hoya, Chairman and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. Oscar, you may begin.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the international media call for David Lemieux versus Glen Tapia, which will be the co-main event for the exciting upcoming battle between Canelo Alvarez and versus Amir Khan on May 7th at the new T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, live on HBO pay-per-view. This will be the first of our series of weekly media conference calls with the undercard fighters for Canelo versus Khan. One Cinco de Mayo weekend, Canada's biggest boxing star and former IBF world champion David Lemieux, with a record of 34-3 and 31 knockouts, will be looking to make an impression and use his power against a swift contender from Passaic, New Jersey, Glenn Jersey Boy Tapia. He has a record of 23-2 with 15 knockouts, and that'll be a 10-rounder in the middleweight division, which will be the co-main event. David Lemieux is back and ready to be on top of the middleweight division on May 7th, and Glen Tapia is ready to rise to the challenge with this exceptional opportunity to showcase he is serious and dangerous contender in the middleweight division. This co-main event between David and Glen Tapia will surely be a thrilling, action-packed bout, and that is what I sought out to do with this undercard is obviously give the fans watching in person and those watching the pay-per-view broadcast the best bang for their buck with exciting fights. Tickets are available, are still available and going really fast. People are really excited about experiencing the new T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, so people are really going to get a great thrill out of being there live in person. And if you can't be there live in person in Las Vegas, obviously you can order it on HBO pay-per-view. Lastly, I just want to thank our sponsors, Cerveza Tecate, Born Bold, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Casa Mexico Tequila, and Doom, Fight Like Hell on May 13th. So let me go with the participants. First off, we'll start off with Glenn Jersey Boy Tapia. He is known as one of the most exciting fighters to watch in the sport, with a record of 23 wins, 2 losses, and 15 knockouts. He's been a professional since 2008. Glenn is a tough fighter who has taken some of the fiercest oppositions in the sport, including James Kirkland and Daniel Dawson, Michael Soro. He's one of the most decorated amateur fighters of his time, and Glenn has competed for the NABO and USBA Super welterweight titles. Glenn will look for an opportunity to start off 2016 with a victory when he faces power puncher David Lemieux on May 7th. So let me to all the media, I'm happy and excited to really putting on this great card. So without any further ado, let me introduce to you Glenn Jersey Boy Tapia. Glenn.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? How you doing, Oscar?
Good. Just talk a little bit about how excited you are and your training and all that.
Oh, I'm so excited, man. It's a big fight, a big card. It's a big opportunity. It's just amazing. I feel so good. And what makes it even a little bit better? Everybody's doubting me. So when I go out there and win, it'll make it better. So I just can't wait. I just thank you guys for the opportunity.
Beautiful. Now we can turn it to questions from the media, please.
If you would like to ask a question, please press star, then 1 on your touch-tone phone. Our first question comes from Dan Rasales from ESPN. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Glenn, good to talk to you today. How you been?
Good, man. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing great, thank you. Listen, Glenn, I look at this matchup. I think it's probably going to be exciting, but I look from your end of things. It's like you got three things kind of going against you here. You're coming off a year layoff. You're coming off a knockout loss, and you're moving up in weight, and you're going in with David Lemieux. Most guys might at least have one bout where maybe shake off some rust, get some confidence back, test out the new weight. But you're going right into this kind of fight at 160 pounds. Can you just explain or describe or talk about your rationale for taking on this kind of situation, given the three things I just outlined?
Yes, like on paper it looks bad. You know, like I said, I'm moving up in weight. You know, I just lost my last fight at 54. You know, and I'm not just moving up in weight. I'm moving up in weight to fight one of the strongest punches in the division. So it looks wrong. You know, so I know the people, everybody will look at it like, oh man, this is a bad call. You know why he's doing that? But that's not my job to even care about that. You know, you guys. Most guys that are talking, or the critics and everybody, they're not in the gym with me. They're not in the gym with me, and they're not training. They don't see my talent. So I really can't worry about that. You know, I just have to worry about being 100% in shape. I'm training hard every day, and just going in there and handling my business.
Did you give any thought, Glenn, or your manager, or the people around you about potentially your trainer, maybe about? Hey, maybe you may want to take one. Let's get a fight under our belt. Let's see how we feel at 160. Let's shake off some rust. Let's get over that knockout in the ring. Was this your decision, or was everybody on the team, you know, on the same page as you were about this situation?
Well, this came up. That came up. That fight came up first, and then it was like, all right, but we could do something else. Let's do something else first. And I'm like, no. I said no. You know, I didn't want something else. You know, this is perfect. A perfect opportunity. What a way to start 2016, huh? You know.
Yeah.
So, I've been in the gym for since like I ain't fighting 10 months. I've been in the gym for like 9 months. You know, just working, understanding that it was a mistake. You know, it was like a diet issue. It was something that really happened during that fight. So people look at me like I was weak or whatever, but it was just because I really had to lose like 13 pounds, 14 pounds in 2 days, you know. And if boxers understand, you know, you can't. The whole camp, I was in camp for 5 weeks after the Dawson fight, and I was training to lose weight. I wasn't even training for boxing, you know. And people understand. If you're a boxer, you understand. Those are two different training sessions, you know. So I just killed myself, you know. It was all wrong. So and then after this fight, it was just, you know, the whole world doubted me, you know, and rightly so, you know. They're not wrong for doubting me, and they're not even wrong for feeling this way about Lemieux even, you know. I understand why they feel this way, because I put myself in that position, you know. I lost my last fight. I'm the one that didn't do the diet right. I'm the one that went through all this stuff with my last fight, you know. So I just was like, in my mind, I had to stay positive for these 9 months, 10 months, 9 months. Working hard, and not even knowing when I'm gonna fight. You know, they'll tell me this date, they'll tell me November, and then the November the whole card got canceled. Then they told me December, then the whole card. Then they told me no, I'm not gonna fight. Then they told me January. Then they told me first. To stay consistently in the gym and working, and then much.
Did we lose Glenn?
I believe we did. Victoria, can you please dial him?
He got so excited, Cecilia, with the answer.
I know. He was very excited. We'll just, everyone hang out for about 2 minutes while we get him back on the line. Do you have any questions for Oscar in the
Yeah, I'll ask him one question while I'm waiting for Glenn to get back there. Oscar, you heard the things that Glenn was talking about as far as the layoff and moving up and not doing things right. What's your take on the notion here that we have two fighters who are, you know, action fighters, both punchers, both coming off knockout losses, going right back in what looks like a tough fight?
Well, I mean, my take is it's going to be a make or break fight for both guys. I think that's what really makes it exciting is that, you know, both guys know that they have to perform. and David Lemieux is coming back and proving wants to prove to everyone that he still and belongs in the top of the middleweight division, and is going to be world champion again. And Glen Tapia, I mean, he has to go out there and prove that he is a middleweight, that he can compete against the best middleweights in the world. So I think it's going to be a terrific fight. And you take a look at Andre Ward, who just fought last Saturday, who had a year's layoff. I mean, he looked terrific. He looked amazing.
Yeah.
So like Glenn was saying, I mean, he was in the gym, he was training. I think that long layoff maybe did him some good.
I just had one more question. Thank you for that, Oscar. I had one more question for you, Glenn, now that you're back here.
Okay.
When you were talking before you got cut off, you were talking about how you were maybe going to fight in November and then December and then January. Obviously, you were still promoted by Top Rank at that point. Was that uncertainty part of the reason that they released you from your contract? What was the situation regarding that?
Nah, they didn't release me because of that. It was just a great opportunity. I actually saw it, and it was like, oh man, we can't give you something like that. There was something so big like this, so why not take it? And they just released me. It wasn't nothing, no bad blood. And I understood why they was, this is a business, man. I understand the business side of it. I'm not going to sit here and start talking bad about the promotion because they're not giving me fights. I put myself in that position, and I take full blame to be in that position. So that's why I was training every day, like I was saying before. I was training, and just staying motivated because I knew something was going to come. And even though it was so hard, to keep training during the time and just staying motivated, I just knew I had to stay focused and train hard because something was going to come. And it ended up coming bigger than it was. Oscar I got the call from them, so it ended up being bigger than it was. Than I expected, than anybody expected. And this is a great opportunity, I got my job is to prove you guys wrong, so this is going to be kind of fun, for me because I like that, I've been counted out a lot, so it is what it is, I got to just work hard and just show you guys 100% Glenn.
All right, Glenn, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to this fight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And our next question comes from Salvador Rodriguez from ESPN Deportes. Please go ahead.
Hi, Glenn. First of all, I want to thank for this teleconference, and I want to ask Oscar first. Oscar, en Spanish first. Oscar, ¿cuáles son tus expectativas para el pago por evento de este 7 de mayo ya con la cartelera completa? Y segundo, ¿ves al ganador de esta pelea, Glen Tapia o David Lemieux, como posible rival de Canelo en el futuro si es que no se llega a dar la pelea con Gennady Golovkin?
Let me translate. Do you want me to translate that?
I got it. He was asking if what are the expectations on this card, on this pay-per-view card, and do I see Glen Tapia and David Lemieux as possible rivals, opponents for Canelo down the line? I mean, look, we expect a huge event on May 7th. All indications show that this is a major pay-per-view event. The fact that we have great sponsors, the fact that we have two great fighters, the fact that the whole card from top to bottom is stacked, a brand new arena in Las Vegas. I mean, it's going to be a blockbuster event. And yes, I do see the winner from Glen Tapia and David Lemieux facing Canelo down the line. That's obviously this was obviously by design, and right now Canelo is the man in boxing, and he's the pay-per-view star, and so I believe are are more than capable to and showcase their talent and give you guys a great show and possibly be in line to fight Canelo. So this is why this fight is so important for both fighters as well.
And for Glen Tapia, Glenn, it's nice to talk to you. Glenn, how do you feel right now with this possibility of having Canelo in the line in the future? You know, this David Lemieux is a big puncher, but I think that you got a great punch too. So how motivate you this opportunity with Canelo on the line?
It's great because he's a great fighter. He's a great champion. He's becoming a legend. You know, he's done so much in the sport. You know, so it's great. It's motivational. You know, it is beautiful in the future. You know, but you know, I gotta just worry about Lemieux. I can't really worry about nobody else. You know, I gotta worry about Lemieux and just get through this fight. You know, I really can't think about the future of Canelo or anything. You know, he's a great fighter though, man. He's done so much. And he's been so young. He's my age, you know. So, you know, and he's accomplished so much in the sport. So, God bless him, and I hope we do meet in the future because that means I did good in this fight.
And what's your opinion about the Canelo Khan fight? Do you think that it's a different way? Should be the difference in the result, or what is your opinion?
They make it. I feel like people was the critics are making it worse than it is. Some of the boxing critics, man, it's just like it looks like they hate boxing, you know, because every fight they see that the promoters make, they just talk bad about it. You know, it's like, oh, this one sucks, this one sucks. You know, it's just really, you know, I feel like this is a great fight. It's a great challenge for both guys. You know, this is what the sport's about. It's about taking challenges, you know, and going out there and just taking a challenge, a big challenge. Look how much this is gonna be. It's so big, you know, because first Khan is going up and weight to take a big challenge, a big step, and then Canelo's going out there to fight a guy that's a great fighter, man. Khan is a great fighter and Canelo's a great fighter, you know. Khan is a big puncher, you know. I mean Canelo's a big puncher, so it's gonna be fun to see how what Khan tries to do to win this fight, you know, if he boxes, if he tries to stay in there a little bit, you never know, you know. But Khan could use the speed and box around, you know, and he could possibly win this. And Canelo's smart. He's a smart boxer too. He's not just dumb. He's not gonna go in there and just brawl with you or throw some dumb punches or get hit with some stupid punches. So he knows what he's doing in there. So it's gonna be fun to watch. I can't wait to watch it.
Okay, thanks so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And our next question comes from J.R. Gamble from Shadow League. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Glenn. You lost two, I guess, of your last two fights after starting your career about 20-0. You're still considered a rising contender. A loss here, though, and things might change. Is this a desperation time for you in your career, and is Lemieux fighting you at the worst possible time, do you think?
No, I didn't lose my last two fights. I didn't lose.
Two of the last five.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Desperation, it's just, I don't know. Everything's on the line for me, you know. It's do or die, you know. And I understand how big this is for me, you know. This could either keep me in the game or get me the hell out the game, you know. So I understand how important this is, you know. I just understand my skill. I understand what I have, what I could bring to the table, and I feel like I haven't showed it to you guys. I haven't showed it to anybody because I was killing myself going down to 54, you know. And it was just, Freddie Roach was telling me before, like a year, or like when I first came with him, after the first fight, I knocked out the first kid, and he's like, you should move up. He said you should move up to 60. I think you should move to 60. And then he kept telling me that through the years, and I never understood what he meant. I used to think in my mind, I'm knocking these guys out. Why is he telling me to move up to 160? You know, I'm beating these guys easy. But then after this fight, he told me the reason why he was telling me that, because he said, because I wasn't looking like I'm looking in the gym. Like he says, like these fighters like Cotto's, the Pacquiao's, all these guys, they see how I look in the gym and they think I'm an amazing fighter. But then when I fight, he said I was losing in the gym, going down in weight, you know, and just killing myself to go down there. See, people don't understand how big I am. I'm a really tall guy, so going down the weight was just killing me, you know, and I feel so happy now, you know, that I could eat. You know, it's just a whole different thing, you know. And people don't understand this weight, I'm losing that weight, what it could do to you, how it could affect you, you know, and it was affecting me a lot, you know, from my skills, from everything, you know. My last fight showed, you know.
Okay, what is it about your opponent, Lemieux, that most concerns you?
Concern, I don't know. I don't really feel concerned. But he has good power. He has good pressure. He could come in and he has good pressure. He got good power, I guess.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And our next question comes from Jake Donovan from Boxing Scene. Please go ahead.
Hey, Glenn. I just want to touch on you talking about how it's a big difference for you to fight at middleweight as opposed to fight at 154. Like, what's your starting point going into the gym? Like, for 154, I'd imagine you'd come into the gym a little bit lighter to not lose too much weight. So are you coming in like a little bit heavier and then maintaining?
No, I'm actually coming in what I was coming to see what happened in my last fight. I came in like at 176 in the beginning of the camp, and I only had like 5 weeks to lose weight. So it was stupid. I should have never done it. But now I'm walking around like 68, you know, 68, 69, you know, and I'm not really killing myself, you know, and even if I walk, me walking around 171, 172 is not really too much, you know, but I'm getting down there real easy, you know, and I'm thinking about like probably in a couple of weeks I'll be 164, you know, and just walking around 164 the whole time and not really worrying about the weight. Like that's not even an issue, and I'm eating good. I'm healthy. I'm just feeling good. My body feels good. I'm running longer. I'm training longer. I'm sparring harder. It just feels good, man. You know.
Definitely. It's funny. Like a lot of people, it seems like they're almost writing you off based on what took place in the past. And you even said you acknowledge it. But do you feel like people are overlooking the fact that you might be catching Lemieux at the right time? I mean, he's coming off the knockout loss, and he just missed weight for his last fight, which got canceled. I mean, so it's there is a possibility he's killing himself to make weight, whereas like he's practically in the same position you were a year ago.
I guess, but not really, you know, because he lost against Triple G, you know, he lost against a bigger name, and his resume is better than mine. So for me to sit here and act like he's better, like I'm better than him, and I'm this, I'm that, I'm not, it'd be stupid, you know, it'd be ignorant. I'm humble enough to understand that he's actually on paper he's a better fighter than me, you know, but I'm here to prove that he's not, you know, so that's the whole challenge. That's why this is a great fight.
Okay, great. Thanks, Glenn. And Oscar, you still on the line?
Yeah.
Okay, I just had a question. With Golden Boy signing Glen Tapia, was the intention to immediately match him up with David Lemieux, or did you see this as like a long-term deal where you saw enough potential in Glen to where he could be a good fit for the Golden Boy family?
No, I remember Glen Tapia fighting against Kirkland. I mean, the heart he showed, the power, the skills that he has, and like Glenn mentioned, he's a big kid. He's a big fighter who belongs in the middleweight division with his frame. It makes a huge difference when you have to kill yourself to make weight. Makes a huge difference when you can eat better, when you can train, spar more rounds or run more miles. It changes your mentality when going up in the ring and facing guys like David Lemieux. So Glen Tapia was a perfect fit for Golden Boy because he's a skillful fighter, a fighter with a lot of potential, and he has a tough challenge in front of him May 7th.
All right, great. Thank you, Oscar. Glenn, best of luck on May 7th.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And our last question is Mitch Aberson from RingTV.com. Please go ahead.
Thanks. Hey, guys. How are you? Hey, Glenn. How's it going?
Hey.
Just curious, Glenn, you mentioned Lemieux fighting Triple G in his last fight, and obviously he had a hard time. Just what, if anything, can you take away from that performance against Triple G in terms of applying it, for this fight with David?
He showed skills. He showed a lot of skills, in between those shots. It's a Triple G's kind of he's a skillful fighter. So he's one of the top guys, So you can't really judge Lemieux through that fight, and you don't know what he went through outside the ring too either, So you never really know. But he showed a lot in that fight. He first showed a lot of heart, to stay in there, and I think even if after that body shot, he could have took a knee and just got back up, and he would have kept fighting. He's just a tough guy like that. So he shows a lot of heart. He's a great fighter. I love watching. He's a great fighter. The type of guy that I like to watch. Knocks guys out. And it's fun to watch him. So he showed a lot in there, man. He's a great fighter.
Did you see any flaws in the way that he faced Triple G? Any weaknesses at all in that fight in your mind?
Yeah, I saw a couple things, just like I saw in the other fights, but everybody got flaws, it's actually, you got to worry about what he does right all the time, most of the time, because if you're worrying about what he does wrong, you're thinking about that most of the time. He's doing a lot of good things too, so you got to watch out for those good things. Sometimes it takes away from what he's doing wrong, it don't matter. It doesn't matter if he does a couple things wrong, but if he does throw the hook a certain way, it don't matter if he got his right hand down or his left hand down too much, because he throws it a certain way. It's just certain things that could just take away from the fact that he's doing something wrong, So I really don't really care about that.
And then Glenn, the fact that David didn't make weight in his last fight, what does that tell you about him, just in terms of him trying to make the middleweight weight limit, and just how that might affect him when he faces you?
Man, I'm the wrong person to talk about weight, because I was killing myself my last fight, So, but you never know. You never know. Us as fighters, we go through so much, man, and I'm sure he was going through so much, for him to make. So I understand. It is what it is. It was a mistake, man. Maybe he could change up his diet a little bit, like just one little thing, like just not eating bread at a certain time. It could change up the whole thing, and it's like the next camp be amazing, So I'm not worrying about that, I'm worried about I feel like he's gonna be 100% because he made the mistake. He's learned from that mistake. All right, that's it. It's not gonna happen to me no more. Because sometimes once that happens, people think, they count you out, but they don't understand that he's looking at it like, okay, that's not gonna happen to me no more. I messed up my last time, so he's gonna make sure he's on weight, So I'm looking forward to fighting 100% Lemieux. I don't care about the weight. I don't care that he's gonna have weight problems. I don't care that none of that. That's out the window for me. I'm not looking at it like, I'm gonna have an easier fight because he's gonna have a lot of weight problems. No, man. I feel like he's gonna come in 100%. He made a mistake. It happens in the sport, especially in this sport with the weight. It is what it is. He came back and he's gonna be 100%.
And then Glenn, last question. When you were offered this fight, was there any trepidation on your part? Was there ever any pause thinking that this is how big of a risk this fight could be in your career?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. I was just really happy. I was like, oh yes. And they was talking about it. We should do this. We should do that. A different fight. My manager telling me we should do. Like, how about we could do this. We could do that. And I was. He saw how I was no, this is great. This is a great opportunity. It's a great card, and just it's a great card with Amir Khan and Canelo Alvarez. Just them by themselves. Adding me and Lemieux onto that is even better. It's just an amazing card. The lawyer did a perfect job, and I was happy. I was really happy. It's like, yes, this is my opportunity that I've been waiting for these last 10 months. It's been a lot of struggle. Just. To work and like I was saying before, without a fight in mind, just not knowing when you're going to fight, it's really hard to stay motivated in the gym and train hard. So I've been training so hard already, so this is going to be, I know people looking at it like, damn, he's moving up in weight, it's going to be bad for him. Actually, it's going to be better for me, man. I'm going to be more healthier. I'm going to be I'm training more harder. It's just, everything's perfect, I'm just really happy,
Great. Thanks for your time, Glenn. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Rich. Glenn, do you have any final words that you want to say to the media members on this call?
Thank you guys for I want to thank Golden Boy for putting me on this card. It's an amazing card. It's going to be a fun night in Las Vegas. I just can't wait to show you guys. You know, I guess some of you guys know I already got heart, you know, but I can't wait to show it, to show my potential, my abilities, you know, and to make us some noise in this 160 division. You know, I just can't wait to show you guys that I am a force to be reckoned with. And I have made some mistakes in the past, you know, and but I've changed that. You know, these losses it helped me grow into a better person, into a better fighter, and I just can't wait to show you guys my abilities when I fight Lemieux on May 7th.
Thank you so much, Glenn. Now we're ready to turn it over to Team Lemieux. Oscar?
Thank you very much, Glenn. At this moment, I'd like to introduce to you a good friend of mine. He is the president of Eye of the Tiger Management, you know, the premier management manager in Canada. You know, has the best fighters. Obviously, with David Lemieux being the star fighter in Canada. So here is Camille Estefan. Camille.
Thank you, Oscar. Hello, everyone. So glad to be on this call. Really looking forward to May 7th. Fantastic card, and looking forward to David putting on a great show with Glen Tapia. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Camille. So it is really my pleasure to introduce to you the IBF, former IBF middleweight world champion. He has a record of 34-3 with 31 knockouts. David is currently ranked as one of the top middleweight fighters in the WBC, the IBF, and will make his ring return on May 7th. After a sellout crowd at the Mecca of boxing in Madison Square Garden in New York, when he faced Gennady Golovkin for the middleweight world championship on October 17th. So David is a fighter who is hungry once again, who is ready to show the world that he is the best middleweight out there, and wants to get back on track and become world champion once again. It is my pleasure to introduce to you, coming out of Canada with a record of 34-3 with 31 knockouts, David Lemieux. David.
Yes. Hi, Oscar. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, David.
Thanks all. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. I'm extremely excited for the opportunity to be back on the show, back in business, back on pay-per-view. I think this fight has a lot of great opportunities. The Canelo undercard to show the world what I can do, and I'm hungry. I'm hungrier than ever. I'm very excited for this fight. Tapia is a great fighter. He's the type of guy who comes out and fights his heart out also. So it's gonna be it's not gonna be a cat and mouse type of fight. I'm pretty sure of that. But you know, I'm gonna be prepared for everything. I'm coming off a fight against Golovkin that I'm not too happy with, and I've been doing a lot of adjustments to make sure that, you know, if in a scenario of that, which it was, again, won't happen again. So, you know, I'm doing the best I can do. Brick by brick, we're building a strong foundation, and I'm ready to get back in business. In my last fight, I didn't make weight. I had some issues. You know, I can talk about it all I want and say a lot of excuses or whatsoever. There's no excuses, and the people don't care about the excuses. one thing I can say is this fight I'm coming in, I'm making weight, and I'm coming here for business. And I'm going to be at my 100%, and I'm going to be stronger and better than ever. So I'm extremely excited to be on the show and to be giving the fans, the best of me, and to be fighting with another champion on the ring like Tapia, and give the fans what they want to see.
Thank you. We are now ready for questions from the media.
Once again, if you would like to ask a question, please press star, then 1 on your touch-tone phone. And our first question comes from Randy Gordon from Sirius XM Radio. Please go ahead.
Hi, everybody. David, you talked about quickly about the weight issue. Everybody, the media, the fans get very upset with fighters who, are supposed to make a weight and they're training for weeks for this and they're coming down. Not that it's an excuse from you, but are you having weight issues, or should you be going up to 168? Are you going to kill yourself to make 160 from now on?
Not at all. I'm a 160 fighter, and I didn't kill myself. I just tried something different, and on the last week, I had a little issue with the weight, with being sick and trying to make weight with the new adjustments, with the new nutritionist. I can go on and on in details, but it's not a problem for me to make 160. It will be made on May 6th.
Okay, final question. You say you're making adjustments after the Gennady Golovkin fight. I mean, for the most part, most people think he is pound for pound the best middleweight around. Of course, Oscar, you'll say, well, there's a guy by the name of Canelo out there, but you did fight Triple G. You fought your heart out. You actually got knocked down, and then you took a shot on your knee. And we all commend you for continuing, because you certainly could have just rolled over and looked for some other ending. What kind of adjustments are you making, and are you thinking, do you have this in your mind that you want Golovkin, no matter which way your career goes, that you're so focused on him to have a rematch again?
I know myself, and I know my qualities. These pound-for-pound things and all these champions, to me, it means nothing. To me, I just want to fight the most significant guy out there, and to make my mark out there in any possible way. I still think I can beat whoever I fight. I just have to be prepared. I have a good plan, no matter if they're pound-for-pound or if they're ranked number 5 or whatever they are. So I want to fight the best, and I believe I can beat the best, and I can be part of the top. So to me, it's step by step. Now I have Glen Tapia, who's a tough opponent in front of me, so I'm preparing for this, and I'm gonna come in and have no excuse. I'm gonna be ready for it.
David, thank you so much. The best to you and Glenn.
Thank you.
And our next question comes from Keith Idak from The Record. Please go ahead.
Hey, David. Earlier on the call, Oscar mentioned that the winner of your fight against Glen Tapia would be a potential opponent for Canelo Alvarez. I was just wondering what your thoughts are on potentially fighting Canelo, and how you think that fight would go if you're able to beat Glen Tapia and fight him.
I like Canelo. He's a good fighter. Like I said, I'm not afraid of nobody in the boxing world, and I don't just say this to try to promote myself or to show I'm actually wanting to beat everybody and to fight all the top names out there. I don't want to avoid nobody. So Canelo, he's a significant fighter in the middleweight. First of all, I'd like to see him make the middleweight line, and yes, it would be a great fight. First, I have things to accomplish and to make sure I get everything straightened out with Glen Tapia on May 7th. Then I'll fight anybody in the middleweight. It's not a problem for me.
You just alluded to him being reluctant to go up to the 160-pound weight limit. Would that be a deal breaker for you in the sense that, I don't know, I know you can make 160, but he's fighting at 155. What's the lowest you think you could go if you were able to fight Canelo?
I'm a middleweight. I'll never go below 160.
Okay. Thank you, David.
Not even for X amount of money.
Okay.
Once again, if you would like to ask a question, please press star, then 1 on your touch-tone phone. And our next question comes from Salvador Rodriguez from ESPN Deportes. Please go ahead.
Hello, David. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Good, thank you. David, how different is David Lemieux after the Golovkin loss, after the weight problem? How different are you right now for Glen Tapia?
Putting it that way doesn't seem so nice, but it's gonna come out good. David Lemieux is gonna be at his best. He's gonna be no problem with nothing. He's gonna be better than ever. I'm gonna be the fighter I am, and I'm gonna be very explosive and give the fans what they want to see. They want to see action. They want to see blood. They want to see knockouts. That's what I'm here for the short and long run.
So, how important is for you this event? You know, it's a pay-per-view. This is Las Vegas in the Arena. How different should be for you this showcase in Las Vegas?
Well, at my level, every fight is crucial, and every fight is very important. This is not just my career, but it's also my life and my legacy. And I take this fight very, very seriously, and I'm not going to leave anything to regret afterwards. So I make sure I come prepared, and every fight is extremely important, and I'm extremely cautious also of the opportunity I have in front of me, fighting in Vegas, in a great card, in a new arena, with all the on pay-per-view, with all the boxing eyes watching.
Thank you so much, David, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
And our next question comes from Dan Rossell from ESPN. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, David.
Hi, Dan. What's up?
Hey, my question for you is this, David. Glenn, he spoke about this a little bit when he did his half of the call about the fact that, did he have a lot of respect for you, that he said your resume is a lot better than his, and that even though you're coming off of a loss that was a stoppage, you were fighting Golovkin, not just, some club fighter or something like that. So I look at Glen Tapia's record. In his 2 defeats, he's been stopped both times in his last 5 fights, but he's also been stopped in a smaller weight class. So I'm wondering, you're known for your punching power. Do you think that this is the kind of fight where that will give you a big advantage, that you'll be able to stop him because, you're maybe the naturally bigger fighter? He's been more susceptible against fighters that are certainly not on the same level of a Triple G.
No. Every fighter has their quality. Triple G is Triple G. Glen Tapia is Glen Tapia. I think he's going to be very serious and very dangerous at 160, even though he fought at 164. He's a big boy. I think he had a lot of, he like you said, he's dying to make weight. I think he's going to be much more comfortable at 160. I don't think it's going to be an issue, and I don't qualify a fighter by looking at it in those terms. I'm looking at the best. Glen Tapia is going to be out there on May 7th, and that's who I'm going to fight, and that's against who I'm going to mingle.
Do you think for him coming off of the long layoff, it'll be almost a year to the day, 1 day short of 1 year since his last fight? That Oscar spoke about this when this was addressed with Glenn, that maybe it's a good thing he had time to go up in weight, to shake off that loss, to just basically heal from that mentally and physically, but also do clear his mind basically, and now come back in the heavier weight class. The fight Joe others might say, there might be some ring rust. He made the point, hey, Andre Ward just came off a 9-month layoff. He looked terrific on Saturday night. Where do you fall as far as the long layoff, how it might impact?
Well, exactly like Oscar said, look at Andre Ward, who was on a layoff. But it all depends on the fighter, what they do on their period of layoff. If they're out partying and they're out in clubs and partying and going on vacation, yeah, that's gonna catch up to them. But if they're in the gym training, sparring, keeping the reflexes sharp, they're ready for it. If it's 1 year down the line, 1 month or 2 months, it's as long as they're in the gym training, it doesn't make a difference.
Well, Glenn did say that he had been in the gym religiously over the last number of months, so I guess it would fall into that other category. But anyway, as far as what I just asked you about, do you want to get a knockout in this fight? I mean, you're known for knockouts. You've shown tremendous power against many of your opponents. Would that be is that how you want to make the case that, hey, I'm back, Triple G is in my rearview mirror, I want to score a big knockout, I want to fight the winner of the main event?
Well, you know, I'm a knockout artist, and it's the way I fight. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I'm gonna come in and just play around and box. Yeah, I'm gonna come in and throw some hard shots, and you know, if my shots connect, they hurt. But you know, I'm coming in there. I want to give the fans the best show. If it lasts 1 round, if it lasts 10 rounds, to me, as long as I look good, and the fans are getting what they want to get, and everybody's happy, I'm doing well. I'm winning round by round. That's my main focus. You know, I used to back in when I was a bit younger, go in the ring and try to knock everybody else. It works with the small guys, but when it's on top of the league, it catches up to you. So I don't think like that no more. I'm going in there. I'm gonna win every round, and I'm gonna be the best I can be. You know, looking at the highest peak of the mountain.
David, given what happened with the fight being canceled a couple weeks ago, just how difficult is it going to be for you to make 160?
Not going to be difficult at all. I'm already almost I'm pretty close to my weight. The last fight, I had a lot of adjustments to be made. I changed a few things that didn't work on my advantage. You know, I can use excuses, but there's no excuses. People don't want to hear that. I'll make 160. It's not going to be a problem.
Alrighty. Thank you, David. Look forward to it. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
And our next question comes from Mitch Abramson from RingTV.com. Please go ahead.
Hey, David. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Hey, good. Thanks. Just curious, David, when you heard that Glen Tapia had accepted this fight, were you surprised, given the fact that he's had trouble against punchers in his past, getting knocked out, you know, in both of his losses?
Am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised. You know, every fighter has pride. Every fighter wants to fight, and they wanna, you know, fight the top guys out there, the dogs who bark the loudest. At least for the real fighters out there, this is what they want. But I'm not surprised. You know, if he wants to fight me, I'm ready to fight anybody. So it's good. It's gonna be a good fight. He's a good fighter, and it's exciting.
David, I know you were very confident before you fought Triple G. I'm just wondering, you know, how long did it take to get over that fight? I mean, were you over it immediately? Did it take some time just to kind of, you know, process what had happened?
No. I still think I can beat Triple G if I prepare to my 100%. He's a great fighter, but I believe in myself, and I believe I'm a good fighter too.
So it didn't take long to get over that fight? What happened?
No, not at all. I wasn't affected by it.
Great. Thanks, David, and good luck.
Thank you.
And our next question comes from Alex McGuinness from Canadian Press. Please go ahead.
Salut David, c'est Alexandre. Ça va bien?
Salut, ça va toi?
Oui. Écoute, j'aimerais que tu me parles un peu là par rapport au fait que tu n'as pas fait le poids lors du dernier combat. Quelle technique est-ce que tu comptes prendre cette fois-ci pour ton combat contre Tapia? Est-ce que tu comptes revenir à ta vieille technique pour faire le poids ou si tu as adopté un nouveau nutritionniste, par exemple, là, un préparateur physique?
On va rajouter un nutritionniste, mais ça fait 32 combats que je fais avec ma vieille technique, alors on va rester avec ça, puis on va ajuster juste pour perfectionner certaines choses avec un nouveau nutritionniste, quoi que ce soit. C'est la discipline, c'est tout, puis c'est dans mes mains de faire le poids, il n'y aura pas de problème avec ça.
C'est ma deuxième question, justement, c'est le fait que le combat soit à 160 au lieu d'être à 163. Je sais que tu en as parlé un peu en anglais tantôt, là. Quel défi est-ce que ça pose pour toi, là, le fait de devoir descendre encore un peu?
C'est drôle. Il y aura plus de problème pour moi de faire 160. Il y aura pas de problème. Je ferai 160. même sans 59, la journée de la pesée, Pierre veut pas là.
OK. Merci, David.
Merci.
Cecilia?
Yes, Camille, can you translate the question and the answer to that, please?
Sure. Alex asked David whether he feels that there are major changes that need to be done, given that the last fight he didn't make weight with a new regime. And basically, we are looking at going back to what we did prior to the last fight, which was a new technique. We're hiring a new nutritionist who will perfect things. We have done testing with regards to David's body composition and got a medical opinion as to is David a middleweight or should he be a super middleweight? And the medical opinion, given his bone density, body structure, is that definitely David can do 160 without a problem. So we don't foresee any issues.
Okay, thank you so much, Camille. Victoria, we can take the next question, please.
Our next question comes from Dave Spencer from Fight News. Please go ahead.
Yeah, David, how are you?
Thank good, thank you.
Okay. I was just wondering, having the last fight canceled, did that in any way refocus you and sort of, I don't want to use the word like scared you into a better refocused place so that you can continue on with pay-per-view fights? And did that come at there's no right time, but did it come along at the best time in a smaller fight in your hometown as opposed to a national stage?
You know what? Everything happens for a reason. Looking at it now, maybe it was for the best thing that Rosado De La Rosa did not take the fight. I could have injured him badly if you're going in the ring and you're not too sure about what you're doing. I would have been tremendously strong in that fight, and I'm going to be tremendously strong in the future. So if he's not too sure about going in the ring with me, even though it was better for his health. So everything happens for a reason, and this fight we're going to be ready for it. It's not going to be a problem.
Okay. Oscar, if you're still there, I'd like to ask you a question.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just, with this fight, the loser, presuming there is one and it doesn't end in a draw, is going to have lost his last two in a row. And I was just wondering, as you being promoter of both, what you see in terms of the person not coming out victorious in April.
Yes, obviously that's the the wonderful part about this fight is that both fighters know that it's a fight that they have to win, and the loser just shakes himself off and has to rebuild. We as promoters, we believe in our fighters, and the winner moves on to bigger and bigger fights, and the loser then has to go back to the drawing board. But we're always going to be supporting every fighter that is with Golden Boy 100%.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Camille, David, do you have any final comments to the press that are still on the line?
On my end, David, do you want to go ahead first? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Basically, on my end, I'm really very excited because Golden Boy has shown their willingness always to put on the right fights for the fans, and we're very happy and proud to participate in those types of fights. We want to thank Oscar for living up to his words with the fans, with the media, and with his fighters, including his partners, be it myself and David. So Big up to you guys. David, all yours.
Yes, I'm extremely happy to be part of this event. It's going to be a great card. Extremely proud to be associated with Golden Boy, Oscar, Eric Gomez, and all the guys from Golden Boy. They're a great team. And I have the Tiger management and Camilo Stefan. I have a lot of great people around me. And it's going to be a great opportunity for me to be back on track and to be back at business May 7th. I'm going to be at my best and give the fans what they want to see.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Camille, for your time today. Thank you all for joining this call. Oscar, if you have any final comments.
Thank you very much, everyone. And like I said, we will be having a conference call to give you updates every week. So we will see you next week. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes today's conference. Thank you for participating. You may now disconnect.